VeChain enters beast mode.
Let's get into it.
So today, guys, we're going to be taking another cheeky look at VeChain and some fantastic news that's just cropped up. As we get into this, guys, if you do find it useful, informative, maybe even entertaining at times, hit that like button. We both really do appreciate it. And of course, if you're new to the channel and you want to stay up to date with those new cryptocurrencies and hidden gems, then why not consider subscribing to the channel? By subscribing, you'll be kept up to date with everything we do here. It is free, you'll stay well informed, so why not? And Chris, is there anything else you would like to add before we jump on down to the desktop and start talking about this fantastic news?
Yeah, just let us know what you think about VeChain. When did you get in? Why did you get in? What do you love about it?
Fantastic. Right, let's jump on down.
Let's do it.
So, Chris, VeChain's new patent could help offset carbon emissions, which would be pretty fantastic, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was only a few days ago we were talking about governments signing up to go green and how beautiful we felt that that was going to be for VeChain, particularly around the automotive industry. But then this pops up and it just makes us even more bullish. I mean, VeChain is going to be in beast mode very soon, I'm sure.
Absolutely. So, VeChain Global Technology has petitioned for a patent with the US Federal Agency Patent and Trademark Office, the USPTO, filed on April 22nd, 2021. The application seeks to register methods, devices, blockchain nodes, and a system for carbon recording and trading per the document published by the agency. So pretty interesting stuff going on there, right? And you can see it's going to be a pretty important space to be in, right?
Oh, completely, Nick. I mean, the fact that we were talking about it perhaps from a different angle, goes to show that, it's in sight, the sites for VeChain. It's something that they're clearly going after. And again, it's one of those, it's going to be utilized in the real world, right? We know that there's many governments that are signing up to agreements to reduce carbon emissions and stuff like that. So yeah, it's immense. And yeah, it just makes me so much more bullish. I mean, I was bullish in the first place, but wow.
Yeah, I mean, the document describes the method of obtaining data related to carbon behaviors on different objects and then converting that data into corresponding carbon data. Later, the information will be stored on a blockchain-based platform for subsequent trading as per a transaction. So really interesting kind of concepts going on there. And yeah, this is going to be pretty important news. And it wasn't that long ago since the Chinese government announced that they were going to have a real big push on the carbon neutral aspect. Obviously, we have here in the UK some interesting things going on with vehicles, where by 2030 the only vehicles that you'll be able to buy will be electric vehicles. Of course, that just assumes that all electricity is clean electricity, which currently obviously it isn't. But going forward, I think there's going to be a lot more clean energy providers out there. And yeah, I think this is going to be really interesting stuff, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, you see many projects talking about, going green and sort of having that aspect, within their blockchain, saying that they're a green blockchain and stuff like this. But, I really do feel VeChain are a few steps ahead of that, with their integrations and the stuff that they're working on. And this one's a big one. Like on the face of it, it probably just looks like standard news, right? But I think this is much bigger than the standard stuff that we tend to hear about normally.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, for example, right, an electric car or electric vehicle with a unique ID could provide data on the amount of electrical energy consumed. This data could be compared to that of the combustion engine vehicle to determine a baseline carbon emission amount, or BE, with a smart contract running on the blockchain. The owner of the vehicle can be incentivized to maintain its BE below the average to receive a credit attached to it, which would be, a pretty interesting way of kind of incentivizing people to not only drive more green vehicles, but also to drive more economically, because obviously driving style will have a huge impact on that as well. So I think this is a pretty big piece of news. Lots of things that could come from the back of this.
Yeah,
And
and
yeah, go
I
for it.
was, I was gonna say, on things that could come off the back of it. We know they're already sort of working or partnered with BMW, Renault. I expect that list to grow in that automotive sector. I really do, with this coming out in particular.
And the other thing, Chris, I think one of our viewers actually left a comment, one of our VChains videos, saying that maybe even Jaguar's on that list.
Possibly, I'd need to have a look at it. There's so many, Nick.
Have to dig in deep and find out for sure.
Hmm.
So, the carbon credit and unique ID to the blockchain as a blockchain transaction receiving at the blockchain node, a request for a transaction to purchase goods or service with a carbon credit and executing with at least one smart contract, a blockchain transaction according to the request. It seems like a pretty interesting approach, and I'm not sure if that quote really makes a lot of sense to me. But if you break it down, it's really just talking about how they can incentivize people to ultimately, drive more economically, own and use vehicles that are more economic, and ultimately reduce that carbon footprint. So really interesting stuff. And the carbon emission value will be written as a hashed value by performing a hash operation, and the hash will be transmitted to the blockchain and safe storage. And the document describes, while adding the following, right? This is the next quote about it, right? So the use of data is collected by an IoT sensor, basically, an Internet of Things sensor, coupled to the electric vehicle and transmitted to the blockchain node via a computing device located in the electric vehicle. So, again, huge things going further forward, guys. We think about Web 3.0, we think about the Internet of Things, we think about how blockchain technology is going to be, integral to all of that kind of stuff going further forward. This is just that fantastic piece of news, that patent that could really concrete VeChain in that future as well, which is pretty big stuff. So VeChain's committed to reduce carbon emissions, and the document presented to the US PTO claims that greenhouse gases are the main cause of global warming. Sure. Therefore, VeChain Global. You laugh, Chris, but I didn't.
Yeah, I do laugh. It's funny.
VeChain Global Technologies has come up with this method to implement carbon emission technology. This mechanism will also attempt to provide a trustworthy and tamper-proof multi-purpose platform for enterprises to store their carbon emission data, thus reducing the confusion on or in carbon records without the intervention of third parties. The patent application claims that the following will be there. So with the solutions at the present disclosure, safe and credible recording of carbon data may be achieved. Furthermore, according to some aspects of the patent disclosed, safe and credible implementing and recording of the carbon trading may be achieved. So pretty big stuff going on with VeChain, Chris, and it's going to be pretty interesting to see how, obviously, the future unfolds. At the moment, VeChain, like many of these other kind of cryptocurrencies that are out there, they are not actually really, performing in terms of price action based on real world use case. If that were the case, I think VeChain would be top 5 amongst some of those other fantastic projects actually doing real things in the real world. Unfortunately, it's a lot more of FOMO hype. Get rich quick. If you look at Doge right now, for example, it's not really reflecting that of a true utility. But in the future, I am a firm believer that that will change, and utility will will be the difference. That will be the driver in making things more profitable in the crypto sphere. So yeah, definitely one to watch out for, Chris. I think this is another fantastic string to VeChain's bow. But what's your thoughts?
Yeah, like I say, I think this is bigger than the standard news that you normally get from VeChain. I think this is immense. I do expect additional partnerships off the back of it. In my mind, that kind of makes sense to expect that. But I don't know anything more than anybody else. So yeah, that's kind of like my thought process on it. But one thing that I do want to say, we have been struggling to get hold of Sunny Lu to get him on this show. So if anybody would love to see Sunny Lu on this show, do tag him in this video. and see. Let's see if we can get him to reach out.
That would be fantastic, right?
That would be awesome.
Guys, if you found this useful and informative, hit that like button. We both really do appreciate it. And of course, if you're new to the channel and you want to stay up to date with those new cryptocurrencies and hidden gems, then do go ahead and subscribe to the channel. By subscribing, you'll be kept up to date with absolutely everything we do here. It is free. You'll stay well informed. So why not? And with that said and done, we hope you have a fantastic day and we'll catch you all in the next one.
Yeah, take care.